Hello, Facebook Landia. Phoenix here, and I'm showing up with episode 24 of this behind the mask experiment that I've been engaging in for the past few months. So, for those of you who are new, this social experiment is an invitation to me to keep on showing up with whatever is real and alive and moving, and it's unpolished and unedited, and yeah, it scares me, and that's cool. I'm realizing that doing the things that scare me are actually the things that keep me alive, the things that keep me at attention, attentive, awake, aware. And so I'm welcoming fear as my friend and not my foe. So that's what this experiment is, behind the mask. So yeah, I would love today to talk about this theme um, that was inspired by a dear sister and one of her beautiful songs called Sing, Pray, Make Love. And yeah, this for me has been, well, let me just say, I've been these past couple of, I would say these past week, these past 2 weeks, I've been really in like the pit of um, despair and confusion and chaos. And yeah, I feel like I've been really caught up in a maelstrom of emotion and yeah, all the things I just said: chaos, confusion, fear, despair, despondency, like lack of inspiration, just everything's going to shit. And that's been really challenging. It's been really challenging for me because, um, yeah, I really aspire to be in my center, and I really aspire to being a torchbearer, a light bringer, because that's my nature. And inevitably, at times, we all must kind of dive into the depths, dive into the darkness to retrieve our light. At least I must, as I'm sure I'm not alone. And so, what I realized, yeah, yesterday was kind of like the lowest point, and I never really know when I'm going to bounce back up, though I had the opportunity to sit in prayer and ceremony with my dear sister Lucine. We have a once a month commitment to ourselves and to one another to meet, and yeah, it's part of our wellness package. This is our care, compassionate care for one another and for ourselves. And I really cherish these evenings with my sister, because we do some really big work. We do some really big unraveling. We do some really courageous work by really kind of diving into our own depths and kind of peeling off the layers of illusion that blind us from seeing our true selves clearly, and from being beacons of light in the world for ourselves and our relations. And so before she came, I was just like, oh, everything is shit. Yeah, everything just felt so raw. I was, yeah, just really kind of stuck in so much of my own turmoil and so much of my own drama, and kind of like living in a house of mirrors with all these different reflections. It's like, really, I have had the tendency to kind of like, yeah, in the past kind of project my drama onto other people, because it's like so uncomfortable, and I go into these places of past trauma and past wounding, which is just like this little girl who like just wants to throw a tantrum. And yeah, I've been really experiencing a lot of those um, shadow sides of myself in the past week in particular, especially in the face of so much of love and care and people that I trust and people that I'm connecting deeply with. It's unfortunate that that happens, and it's such a beautiful gift that we give to one another when our intimacy with other gives us, or actually like catalyzes these darker, I would say, these like unresolved or like hidden aspects of ourselves. And so I'm humbly grateful for the beautiful, clear reflections in my life that support me to see these parts of myself, although they're really challenging to look at. And so in ceremony last night, um, I really got to see so clearly how easy it can be to get like pulled into the storm, pulled into the chaos, especially with like given all of the circumstances that many of us find ourselves in Melbourne, in Australia, in the world, all of the polarization that's just like, where do I stand? It's like in some ways it's just like, oh, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. I just want to rest. It's like so much effort, so much work to kind of hold myself in the center, and not get pulled out. Though what I realize is that it's like all of these forces that have been kind of pulling me out. And it's interesting how, for me personally, sometimes I have to kind of like, I'm quite, I've got a call, so I'm just going to pause that for now. Um, I'm just going to say yes so that I can be. Can be really tiring to kind of find our way back to ourselves, back to our center. And I know when I feel really scattered, really disintegrated, really exposed, and like my triggers and traumas are up, and like the um, the little girl inside that kind of in the past didn't have the tools to meet the discomfort, like the tantrums that she wants to throw, and how that just gets projected onto other people, and the level of kindness and compassion it takes to just hold those parts with love and with care and with forgiveness, especially in the face of love, in the face of other, and the courage it takes to keep on showing up vulnerably, the courage it takes to keep on allowing these like yeah, these real subtle layers of the program, of the pattern, the outdated program and outdated pattern to reveal themselves, like the courage it takes to witness them without resisting and kind of pushing back. Yeah, it's really extraordinary. And I'm witnessing that in myself. I have been witnessing this in myself. And um hey Sarah, I'm yeah, it's interesting. You dreamt of me last night. Another friend contacted me this morning, Christina, and said she dreamt of me last night. So there was some magic happening in the space last night. Two of my dear sisters on the other side of the planet felt that, and I felt that. Like I was saying, like I dived deep into these depths of despair, and then yeah, like as soon as I began to prepare for the ceremony, as soon as I began to kind of collect my altar items and prepare the space and set the fire, it's like I kind of came out of this stupor. I was in this stupor of just like I said, just everything felt like shit. I just wanted to kind of give up on life and kind of lay down and just over it. And I get it. Like, I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels this way at times, especially living in the most locked down city in the world. We're at like day 258 or something like that of being locked down, and that in itself kind of is such catalyst for so many of the traumas of like feeling trapped and not being able to do what I want to do or not being able to go where I want to go, like really comes up. And so it's been a real catalyst for transformation. And in those moments that I feel so oppressed, like I said, it's almost like I forget the tools that I have. And I don't want to say always. I mean, I'm far from that at this point. Though there are moments, there are moments. It's like I've got my daily practices that I engage with to keep me steady. Though when I'm in the throes of the storm, in the throes of the chaos, I have had the tendency to kind of like, just like throw myself to the wind and let it take me. And last night I got to see that like very, very clearly, extremely clearly in my meditation. And what I realized in that experience, that meditation, when I was witnessing all of the chaos around me, is that like in the center of that chaos, there is just such a solid, anchored, aligned, sovereign being that's there, and she's unshakable. And and what I learned for myself is that, and I spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, the strength to be soft, strong enough to be soft, it's the both and. Like to have this strong back of like meeting without cowering, meeting this strong with this strong back, awake, aware, and attentive, and with this soft belly and this soft heart, this receptivity. It's like that willingness, that readiness to just kind of surrender into, the what am I choosing to surrender into? Am I choosing to surrender into the chaos and let it just like take me? Or am I choosing to surrender into this strength, this inner strength that's here? And through my experience last night, being in meditation for many hours and praying and singing, breathing, kind of sitting, utilizing all of the tools that I've been cultivating for many years, and very much so over this kind of lockdown. I was able to recognize that everything has just been the perfect catalyst for like seeing what has needed to be seen in order to make a choice to rise up. Like during my meditation, I was like, there was parts where I was just laying down last night and I was just kind of like just really kind of surrendering into, and then there was this voice inside that said sit up, and when I was laying down I could feel all this chaos in my mind moving, and as soon as I sat up it was just like clarity. It's like moving through the maelstrom of emotion and confusion and thoughts and fears, and like making one's way into the center of the storm where there's peace and there's calm and there's connection and there's centeredness. And so, yeah, I was reminded last night that it's during these times of feeling so thrust into the drama or the stories or the chaos or the storm that, like, I need to remember to utilize my tools. I absolutely need to remember to utilize the tools that I have to kind of keep me steady and on course. And for me, those are singing, praying, and making love to creation, making love to life, loving, allowing my heart to be opened, allowing my heart to expand, recognizing that it's all actually love. Such an illusion that there's these kind of opposite forces that are against us, I believe. And when I fall prey to like fear as foe rather than fear as friend, it's like, oh, it's all happening to me, everything is against me, though actually, like, what I got to see last night is that everything is happening for me. Like, literally everything is happening for me, even though it's uncomfortable to meet these parts inside of oneself that have been unresolved or that feel ancient, like, oh, I thought I dealt with that 30 years ago. It's like, obviously, if it's up, if it's kind of making itself known, there's obviously something there to complete, something else to take responsibility for, something else to integrate. Yeah, like, all of these disintegrated pieces are literally just kind of there, like, waiting to be integrated and welcomed home. And for me, the tools that work best to guide me back to center are those three things: singing, praying, making love. And singing, praying, and loving, singing, praying, and being in my heart, singing, praying, and seeing that it's all love. Like, it's all love, really. Even though we have these perceptions, I'll speak for myself, even though I have these perceptions at times that something is bad or wrong or against me or out of alignment or out of, it's like not of the light or not of love, it's evil, it's dark. Like, love is all. Love welcomes everything. Love is like, oneness love. It includes everything. It excludes nothing. Like, and can I allow my heart to open so widely to welcome everything? And in that doesn't mean I have to kind of tolerate things that are like not serving my highest good. Sometimes what serves my highest good is to have really firm and healthy boundaries and say, no, this force, this energy is not welcomed here. Yeah, because I know what feels true, what feels aligned. Like, my body doesn't lie, my heart doesn't lie. If I'm confused, if I'm unwell, if I'm in despair, there's something, life is giving me some feedback that's saying, oh, maybe this isn't the direction you want to be going in. So I have the right. I give myself permission to have firm and healthy boundaries to protect that which is sacred inside of me and inside and all things, all my relations. Like, I give myself permission. I have the right to hold firm boundaries, healthy boundaries, to protect that which is sacred. And so in that doesn't mean it's not love, it just means that it's not in service. Though even having the courage and the discipline to set, or to even know that I have the capacity to set firm boundaries, that in itself is empowering and increases the love that's available to me for myself. I can love you and I can say no. Just like all of the negative thought patterns and programs that kind of like pull me out, I can say, no, actually, I'm not going to go on that ride with you. I'm going to choose to stay here in my center, in my heart. I'm not going to go down that lane of drama, because I see that what's happening is supporting me to grow and to heal and to expand and to connect more deeply. So, yeah, singing, praying, making love, ceremony, the things that I love are the things that keep me connected, the things that bring me back into my center. And I guess, unlike most people, that sometimes I need to get totally pulled out of my center or kind of like feel all the yuck to recognize like what's actually aligned, what's actually my yum. What is actually my yum? And yeah, my yum is singing, praying, ceremony. And when I do those things, it's like an instant return home. And I don't know how long it's going to take me to kind of lock that in. How many times I need to kind of spiral out of my center in order to remember to utilize the tools that support me to return to my center. But I guess it's like, everything, that dance, that lemniscate dance, that infinity loop, that there's this inner connection and then this kind of stretching out into the far reaches of our reality and then coming back into the center. Like it's all part of it. It just fascinates me because I was really able to see that so clearly last night in myself. And what I realized, one of my teachers, Gabrielle Roth, of the Five Rhythms, she has this quote: "Do you have the discipline to be a free spirit?" And many years ago, when I first read that, I didn't necessarily understand, like, what, discipline and freedom. How do those things go hand in hand? Though the discipline to be a free spirit, like I really got such a like a visceral experiential kind of transmission of that last night. Like, yes, when I choose to show up for ceremony, when I choose to show up for prayer, for singing, the things that bring me joy, the things that bring me alive, when I have the discipline to choose those things, like any illusion of being oppressed or being locked down, like it dissipates. Because doing the things that I love, that bring me passion, that bring me connection, that bring me deeper into my heart, are actually the things that liberate me from my suffering. And so I sang my heart out last night by the fire. I prayed my heart out for all my relations last night by the fire. I cried, I opened my heart, I made love to this glorious kind of web of creation that I'm a part of. And I just felt I feel such a deep sense of like, like I literally just woke up from this kind of trance that I've been in. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful to, I'm so grateful to life for kind of supporting me to continue finding my way. Like I stray off and then it's like, oh, no, 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 come back here. This is the way, this is the way, this is the way. And for me, it's like I'm often reminded, and like any other human, I have the tendency to forget. The spell of forgetting, like I said before, it's so dense. It's like a weighted blanket. I love my weighted blanket, by the way, though the spell of forgetting is also like a too heavy of a weighted blanket, that doesn't allow. But it does also allow, it's like I have to feel the weight, the gravity of the spell in order to be like, no, I choose to wake up. Like, I choose to wake up. I choose to do the things that align me to my truth. I choose to do the things that align me to my true north: love, joy, connection, unity, harmony, balance. And it sounds so crazy to kind of aspire to these things in the current like world climate that we're in, and having that level of discipline to kind of steer us through the storm. It's like it's what's needed most right now. And I say yes to that. I say yes to waking up from the spell of forgetting, to kind of waking up from the trance that has kept me numb and hiding from the disintegrated parts of myself. And I say yes to like meeting with love and with compassion and with courage and with ferocity, with a strong back and a soft belly. All those parts that are being revealed right now due to the oppression and the lockdowns and the current climate. Like, it's happening for us. Like, what a wild concept. I can blame, project, like, oh, it's bad, though actually it's all love. And it's all here in support of me, you, we, integrating, saying yes, having the discipline to witness, to meet, to call back, to integrate all of those parts that have been disintegrated, cast aside, exiled, because we've been too afraid to feel the discomfort. And I get it. It's uncomfortable. It's like really, 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 really uncomfortable. Though the sigh, like the deep exhalation, the deep sigh of relief and like freedom that comes with, on the other side of the willingness to meet the discomfort and to kind of feel all of these pieces of self coming back into wholeness. It's makes it all worth it, in my experience. Yeah. And it's not a task for the weak of heart, though I firmly believe that none of my brothers and sisters are weak of heart. Like, because everyone is made of the same stuff as I am. Like, we all have the will, we all have the courage, we all have the stamina, the tenacity, the strength, the determination. The question is, do we have the discipline to be a free spirit? Like, we want freedom, yet are we willing to do the work to welcome that in? Yeah, 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 yeah. So I'm going to keep singing and praying, making love, connecting to the things that bring my heart alive, that inspire me. Like that for me, my coach that I meet with on a regular basis, he always tells me, just do what you love and just let that be what kind of paves the way forward. Let your mission be what paves the way forward. You don't need to know how it goes. Just follow the things that bring you joy and inspiration, because I see it, I feel it when I do those things. It's like all of the problems they just roll off. They just roll off. They just melt away. Because when I'm in my joy, in my passion, in my inspiration, there's like an unshakable connection to all that I am: the earth, the water, the fire, the air, and spirit. And so I'm going to keep doing what I love to do. And oh gosh, I've already sent out a bunch of emails, a bunch of texts to my good friends. When you see me spiraling down, just remind me, sing, pray, ceremony. Sing, pray, go into ceremony. Like this is what I need to remember for myself. What are the things that you need to remember for yourself? What are the tools that help guide you back into your center? Because, you know, there's a storm happening in the world right now. And it may or may not shift by us kind of succumbing to its chaos. Though I believe if each of us learn to find our way into the center of that storm, anything is possible. And so, yeah, do you have the discipline to be a free spirit? And what are the tools that support you to liberate yourself from the spell of forgetting? I'm going to keep singing, praying, and making love. So, thank you.